Welcome back, warrior. We are now at Genesis chapter 49. So here we go. Preface. Jacob blesses his sons and their seed. Reuben, Simeon, and Levi are chastened. Judah will rule until Shiloh, Christ comes. Joseph is a fruitful bough by a well. Fruitful bough by a well. His branches, the Nephites and Lamanites, will run over the wall. The shepherd and stone of Israel, Christ, will bless Joseph temporally and spiritually. Jacob chooses to be buried with his fathers in Canaan. He yields up the ghost and is gathered to his people. Okay, so there might be a lot of symbolism or things that we are not currently going to understand too much of. And hopefully with our commentary from Redheaded Hostess, we will get a little bit more explanation. But if we do not, we are not going to be so angry, because we know that as we continue to read the Bible, we will learn more, little by little, line upon line. Okay, so it says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So that doesn't sound like good news, right? Okay, so he's like, come, let me tell you the bad news. It sounds like that's what it sounds like. Gather yourselves together and hear ye, sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Oh, those are awesome ways to describe your son, right? Unstable as water, although the rest of it's not so good. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. Simeon, so he's basically like, remember Dinah? That was a bad idea. Was it Dinah? I think that was Dinah. Anyway, so he's like, no thanks. And Simeon and Levi, our brethren, instruments of cruelty, are in their habitations. Suck, right? Because they were the ones that attacked, let's see if I can remember. I can't remember their names, but they attacked the city and killed all the guys when they had just been circumcised, because they originally thought they were going to be getting to be part of the family, but then they didn't become part of the family. Anyway, so that's why that's there. And that's why they are talking. And that's why Israel is saying that they are instruments of cruelty. Dang, that is not a good way to describe your kids. Okay, actually, Dinah was their sister. Sorry, I'm confused. Dinah was their Simeon and Levi's sister, and then they went to Shechem. The man called Shechem was the one that defiled her anyway, and then the Simeon and Levi were the ones who were just cruel and evil and killed all the males of that city, right? And even though it was Reuben who had the sexual sin and transgressed against, says, thy father's bed. Now I'm trying to remember that gal's name. And Reuben laid with Bilhah, and it was one of his father's concubines. So it was Jacob / Israel's concubine, Bilhah. Anyway, so that's what it was. And so those three brothers, that's like what we're talking about right now. So verse 5, Simeon and Levi, our brethren, instruments of cruelty, are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and if in their self-will they dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Okay. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Okay, so do you remember Judah? I think it was, now I can't remember all the way. So let's just see here. This is the blessing that, so we're just going to talk a little bit more about this blessing. Hold on. We're over here. Hold on. Okay, we're on verse 11. And it's just like the most in-depth blessings recorded here were given to Judah and Joseph. Compared to many of his brothers, Judah's tribe will become great, and it will. The Jews will come mainly through this tribe. The Bible dictionary says that Judah was a natural leader among the sons of Jacob. Therefore, the lion is the symbol for Judah. The leadership that Judah had will continue through his line. It is through Judah that most of Israel's kings and rulers will come, and the Messiah himself will come through Judah's lineage. Isn't that so cool? That is so cool. Okay, verse 11. Binding his... Okay, so we're talking about until Shiloh come, and Shiloh is Jesus Christ, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his donkey's colt unto the choice vine, he washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Issachar is a strong donkey couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and become a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by the well, whose branches run over the wall. Okay, so these are the tribes of Joseph. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him, but his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep, that lieth under, blessings of the beast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Okay, so let me finish reading. We'll just finish reading 29 or 49, and then hold on. Separate from his brethren. Okay. 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. I was actually wondering what Benjamin's blessings were, actually. Okay, and so devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spake unto them. If your father spake all these things to you, you would be so confused. I would be totally confused, except for the first three, who were obviously not nice, and they were not supposed to be. Like, they just, weren't getting that great of blessings, right? Because they had transgressed. And anyway, so yeah, that would be weird. Or that would be hard to have theirs first, and you're like, oh yeah, totally get that. And then to the other guys, you're like, I don't even know what this means. And then at the end, you're like, oh, that's it? Like, I would have been so confused. Anyway, all these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is that their father spake unto them, and blessed them, every one according to his blessing, he blessed them. Sure. if you say so. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron the Hittite. Like Zac Efron, in the cave that is in the field of Machpelah, which is before Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham bought with the field of Ephron the Hittite, for the possession of a burying place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife, and they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. The purchase of the field and of the cave that is therein was from the children of Heth. And when Jacob had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed and yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, I'm super old. I'm just going to die now after giving everyone a blessing. And then you just kind of get yourself in your bed and you're just out. Amazing, right? Wouldn't we all wish that we could pass in that way? So, okay. So tribes of Joseph. Well, I don't know if I don't even know what the tribes of the other guys are. But, so we have the cursed tribes. Sad, right? But make good choices, and then you get blessings. And then we have the tribes of Joseph. So these verses contain the blessings of Joseph, using a branch to describe him. His bow or bow, will be fruitful and run over the wall. He will be strong and his strength will come from God. Here the symbol is fruitful bough. However, the oxen are also used as a symbol for the tribes of Joseph, and that comes from Deuteronomy 33:17. And Deuteronomy says this, his glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. End quote. Okay, what? That's wild. I actually really like that scripture. A, because it talks about unicorns, and B, because it also talks about Ephraim and Manasseh. So, this is awesome. We're going to have to remember that. How does the Bible talk about unicorns? And, if they didn't exist, why are they mentioned? Makes you think. Okay. Oxen are strong animals that have the capacity to push or pull. Therefore, ox are an appropriate symbol for the tribes that will lead out of the gathering of Israel in the last days. And then there's a quote from Paul K. Browning. It says here, the first important part of the restoration of Israel began with the conversion and gathering of many from the tribe of Joseph. Then Joseph will gather the other tribes. To date, many members of the church have clearly observed that the lineage declared or appointed to them in their patriarchal blessing is that of Ephraim or Manasseh. The descendants of these two sons of Joseph were given a divine commission by Moses. He said that their horns are like the horns of unicorns. In brackets it says wild oxen. With them Joseph, shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. In this prophecy, we see that. So the descendants of Joseph are like unicorns. He said that their horns are like the horns of unicorns, and we love unicorns. So this is amazing. In this prophecy, we see that. So people of Manasseh and Ephraim are unicorn. Perfect. In this prophecy, we see the latter-day descendants of Joseph diligently going about the work of gathering scattered Israel, or pushing them together, right? The patriarch Jacob, or Israel himself, foresaw this work as he gave a blessing to Joseph's two sons. For thou shalt be a light unto my people to deliver them in the days of their captivity from bondage, and to bring salvation unto them when they are altogether bowed down under sin. In due time, other tribes come unto the children of Ephraim and be crowned with glory, even in Zion by the hands of the servants of the Lord, even by the children of Ephraim. So this was, end quote. Paul K. Browning, Ensign, July 1998. Let's not combine quotes, Linda. Okay, so Then President James E. Faust says this: some might be disturbed because members of the same family have blessings declared them to be of a different lineage. A few families are of a mixed lineage. We believe that the house of Israel today constitutes a large measure of the human family because the tribes have intermixed one with another. One child may be declared to be from the tribe of Ephraim, and another from the same family from Manasseh or one of the other tribes. The blessing of one tribe, therefore, may be dominant in one child, and the blessing of another tribe dominant in yet another child. So children from the same parents could receive the blessings of different tribes. Interesting, right? End quote. President James E. Faust, Priesthood Blessings, October 1995 General Conference. That's kind of fun stuff, right? Okay. So what kind of insights have you gained about the importance of the tribe you are from? So it seems like the Ephraim's tribe is the tribe that does the gathering, or most of the gathering. And then Manasseh's tribe is actually a tribe that helps the gathering. So really, Ephraim and Manasseh are both gathering Israel and pushing together. So either way, and no matter which tribe you're from, that's your job. And that's fine, right? Okay, the tribe of Benjamin is the one that I am most curious about because I don't feel like they talk about him too much, right? So the tribe of Benjamin is given the blessing to be like a wolf. A wolf is a skilled fighter who fights for his survival, and Jacob's blessing indicates that his people will have to do just this. Interestingly, the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Judah will later make up the southern kingdom of Judah together and will be known as the Jews. Okay. The tribes of Judah and Benjamin are often found among the Jewish people today. Sister Wendy Nelson, okay, I'm glad they're bringing this up because I really love this talk, gave a talk at BYU Women's Conference and spoke about the gathering of Israel that is happening in the last days. This gathering is allowing descendants of these tribes to take hold of the promises within the Abrahamic covenant, and those covenants mean everything. An article relating Sister Nelson's talk reads like this. Okay, and this is really cool, okay? So pay attention. Sister Nelson, okay? Sister Nelson moved on by focusing on let's start at the beginning, Linda. I don't know why I started there. Okay. She said she asked herself and other women what it means to be women of covenant or covenant women, and quoted a friend who said, "It means I've promised God that I will follow his son in what I do, think, and say. And I've made those promises by entering into sacred covenants that bind me to both the Father and the Son." Hold on. This is Women's Conference. Sister Wendy Watson Nelson. Okay, the Daily Universe, April 30th, 2015. Okay. Sister Nelson moved on by focusing on covenants within the context of the present days. She spoke of 24-hour experience in Moscow, Russia, where she met with 100 Russian sisters while her husband taught the priesthood leaders of the area. Okay, this would be like such a cool experience, right? When she went to the pulpit to talk to the sisters, she said something she never anticipated. "I'd like to get to know you by lineage," I said. "Please stand as the name of the tribe of Israel, which declared in your patriarchal blessing is spoken." Sister Nelson said, while the women knew each other well, they didn't know each other's lineage. She said everyone was thrilled with what they were witnessing, feeling, and being taught as each of the 12 tribes of Israel were announced. I just got chills. "We were being taught about the reality of the days in which we now live," Sister Nelson said. In the small gathering of fewer than 100 women in Moscow, 11 of the tribes of Israel were represented, all but the tribe of Levi. After the meeting, the Nelsons went to the airport and flew to America, where Elder Nelson was set to create the first stake of Zion in the country the next day. The first people to greet them as they got off the plane were the Armenia mission president and his wife, who heard of the Moscow sisters' experience already. The first thing she said to me was, "I've got Levi," Sister Nelson said. The audience erupted with laughter. Oh, that's awesome. End quote. Women's Conference, Sister Wendy Watson Nelson, the Daily Universe, April 30th, 2015. So if you'd like to read about each of the tribes, the Guide to the Scriptures has an entry for each of the 12 tribes. Okay, so go to churchofjesuschrist.org and search for 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. Here's a good question. How have you seen the gathering of Israel in your life? Right? Isn't that a cool idea? Okay. So this is our Read It, Live It. I've now walked a 5K, which is kind of awesome. Okay. So it says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. Before there was a babe in Bethlehem, there was this prophecy. Jesus was always coming. The king was already written into the story. Anticipate his promises. Oh, that's so neat. Okay, that is it until our last chapter of Genesis, which is Genesis chapter 50. So until then, stay strong, warrior.